Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio, and a couple hours ago I showed you a new Leafeon. And I thought that new Leafeon looked good. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to show you a new Leafeon. Does it look as good? No. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't have a chat about it, and we shouldn't try and explain a little bit more about it. So, it's new Leafeon then. Now, we can start off having a look at the basics, and the first thing that should jump out at you, weakness to fire sucks. Like, really sucks. To be fair, Volcanion will get a one-hit KO anyway, but something like Reshiram and Charizard will be outrage KOing you fairly easily. If I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, any partners you've got here in terms of grass Pokemon really is going to be a little bit of an issue in terms of they are going to be weak as well, and that is going to suck. Boo, hiss, etc. But that's alright, ladies and gentlemen, because maybe it's not all about that. Now, the retreat cost of 2 is kind of rubbish because it means no U-turn board. And being a grass Pokemon's a weird one, right? Because what you've generally got is healing. Life or his Prism Star, Shaman, but the problem is, yep, you're not going to be healing very much. You got 110 HP and a terrible weakness. That's a bad start. The other great advantage you get from being a grass Pokemon is Netball. Lets you search a basic grass energy or a basic grass Pokemon. And the good news is it will search out your basic grass energy, but so will Energy Spinner. And if you go second on your first turn, that'll get you free. But it won't get you basic grass Pokemon because Eevee is not a grass Pokemon. Although if you're playing other grass Pokemon, I suppose it'll get them. And we've lost the Energy Evolution Eevee. I mean, we haven't actually lost it per se. We actually just got a re-release of it in Hidden Fates. It's beautiful. But we've lost it in terms of the standard format it's rotated out. We did actually get 2 new Eevees in Hidden Fates. Neither of them can even hold a candle to the Energy Evolution Eevee. Although I suppose the rare one at least has redonkulous artwork. So at least we've got that. But what does it do? Well, our translation comes from the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net. Lovely dude, lovely website. And as I've said many times before, if you're not checking Cerebi.net on a regular basis, why not? The first attack here, 1 grass energy. Heal all damage from one of your bench Pokemon. And in a different format, ladies and gentlemen, I could absolutely get on board with this. This could be amazing. You see, before Unbroken Bonds came out and the whole Reshiram and Charizard thing exploded, pun intended, we had a format where Celebi and Venusaur was legitimately great. It was a really good deck, a very strong deck, healing with stuff like Life or his Prism Star and Shaman from Lost Thunder, and just, if you couldn't one-hit KO, you couldn't win. It was a good deck. The problem is, we lost it. Because of all this fire stuff. Reshiram and Charizard, super easy KO. Blacephalon, super easy KO. And cards like Welder are meaning that those cards are coming around far more often. And that's an issue, frankly. That's kind of a big issue. And that's before we mention the stuff like Ultra Necrozma still seeing a fair amount of play, and you got stuff like Mew Mew that can copy Dragonite GX, a new one that does 270, and you're left with a Pokemon that's far too easily one-hit KO'd. But let's, for instance, let's just move to a fantasy world just for a moment where it's not so easily KO'd. Leafeon's great. Now, alright, you're chucking it in the active, there's an extremely good chance it's just going to get KO'd and you're giving up a prize, but if you're playing like a full-on Tag Team GX deck, giving up a prize doesn't matter. In fact, giving up 2 prizes doesn't matter. Because your opponent takes 2 prizes, they still got to KO 2 Tag Team GXs to win the game, so you're at that stage where you're just like, don't care. And we're getting Venusaur and Snivy, which is another card that looks kind of good. Incidentally, great gusting. If it's in the active, when you attach a grass energy from your hand to the Pokemon, you get to drag one of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench into the active. Really nice gusting. The biggest issue is that there's just too much one-hit KOing you. There are really good grass Tag Team GXs, pretty much both of them with Venusaur and something little. Although, to be fair, don't sleep on Pheromosa and Buzzwole. You know, they can take extra prizes with KOs. That ain't bad. And if you were using those, yes, you've still got Life Forest Prism Star, you've still got Shaman, you've also got Great Potion now that heals 50 from your active. But if for some reason you ended up not able to use any of those, or they weren't doing enough, or whatever the problem might be, you could just go, quick, chuck a Leafeon out, heal everything. And you could heal up beautifully, and it would be wonderful. But unfortunately, that's not where we are. And that's a little bit of a shame. This is a great support healing Pokemon that is going to support cards which just can't hold up. Now, it is one of your bench Pokemon, not a bench grass Pokemon. So you can always play this with 1 or 2 odd grass energy, or maybe even rainbow energy, and use this to heal something like a Magikarp and Wailord. That is an option. But remember, you don't have the Energy Evolution Eevee, so you do have to leave the Eevee down for a turn. Your opponent will be trying to Gust and KO. I'm sad about it, alright, but I don't know if it works in this format. Grass Double Colorless Energy, however, 80 damage, flip a coin. If heads, 40 more damage. Now, 80 for a Grass Double Colorless is underwhelming. 120 for a Grass Double Colorless is okay. But we don't really have great grass energy acceleration right now. I mean, honestly, Celebi and Venusaur was just attaching manually and taking advantage of double colorless energy, which incidentally has also rotated out. But honestly here, I think getting the energy on's a pain. You do have triple acceleration energy, but it won't pay the attack cost on its own. And if you flip Tails, you're using a triple acceleration energy and another energy to hit 80 damage. I cannot be the only one that thinks that's entirely underwhelming. And here's what's really, really getting in my core about this. Let's say you pay the energy. Let's say you hit a head. Let's say you hit 120. We don't want to be hitting 120. Because there's plenty of non-GXs out there that you're not KOing with this. Boswell's coming around. Yeah, Boswell's surviving, ladies and gentlemen. He's not getting one hit KO'd. Granbull, I've been testing Granbull in the new format lately. It's not really working very well, but I have a lot of fun with it. And, you got Fairy Charms out there, so maybe we don't have much tool removal. Point is, there are plenty of non-GXs you're not getting here. And then in terms of GXs, I mean, nominally, probably the one people are trying to make the most work out of here that's weak to grass is Slowpoke and Psyduck. But Slowpoke and Psyduck has 250. How it has more than Pikachu and Zekrom, I'm not entirely sure. That is one of the big mysteries of the Pokemon trading card game at the moment. But that's irrelevant, because it does. So now you're not even getting a one-hit KO on that. If you get the free energy on and you flip a heads. And here is your kind of daily reminder that Victini from Guardians Rising has rotated out. So we don't even have a way to try and get a cheeky heads and increase our chances of doing so. It is, underwhelming. I don't like the second attack much at all. And the first attack I just find awkward. I love the complete healing of a bench Pokemon, and in a format of Tag Team GXs, I love the fact that you can go, look, you need to knock out a Tag Team GX to win the game. I'm going to throw a Leafeon in the active. Even if you KO this, you still need to KO a Tag Team GX to win the game, so I'm not losing anything by putting this active even if you KO it, and it's complete healing, and all of that sounds fine. But we still end up in a situation of, what are you actually healing? And is it worth the investment? If it was a colorless energy and it was more splashable, I'd love it. But it's not, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know how much I love it. Now, there is a GX we can pop in with this as well. Now, the good news is that if it's active, you may heal 50 from one of your Pokemon with an energy attached to it. That's quite nice. And the GX attack is kind of cool because it allows you to evolve all of your benched basic Pokemon. Does not have to be grass, just any benched basic Pokemon. But again, you're talking grass energy, not colorless energy. Maybe there is a way that there's some big evolution deck where Leafeon GX evolves up and you've got this new Leafeon for a bit of healing when it's the time to do so. But honestly, for the time being, I'm not seeing a bunch of use for this. I'm giving it 2 Wassies. I'm sorry. I don't want to rate it so lowly. I want it to be better. I love the Glaceon. I'll pop a link to the Glaceon video in the description. I think the Glaceon's great. I don't know why it's so much better than the Leafeon, but it is. But maybe you're seeing something in this that I'm not, or maybe you just agree with me. Either way, I would be delighted to hear from you lovely ladies and gentlemen in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.